Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my new channel. I'm finally going to actually start making, hopefully, some regular content for it. I've had the channel up for a while, and I've posted some random, old gigs I did, and some music. I think I got one music video on it that I've had for a while. That was a big deal for me, the first one I ever did. But anyway, I should introduce myself. I am JHelix. People that know me as Jeff. I am a singer-songwriter, an artist, producer, I guess all of the above. I don't know what you would call that. I typically take songs all the way from the writing stage. I come up with the music, then I lay the tracks down myself. I record the tracks myself in here. I do the mixing, the production. I used to do mastering. I outsource that now usually because I find that people who do that regularly they do it in a way that you don't do it. Producers are not typically the mastering people, and it's good to have a set of ears other than your own to do that with. But not to get off on a tangent. Anyway, so I wanted to make this video after work, my day job. I'm a piano technician, professional piano technician for a living, so I am kind of around music all the time. I am lucky in that respect because there's a lot of producers and stuff that are kind of grinding on their music, and during the day they got to do something totally different that often they don't like, and I am not one of those people. So I am thankful for that. I put in, now I think 20 years in that career, so I now have a solid living that I can use to have freedom to continue to do this music. I never looked at myself as like somebody who really wanted to start a family and do all that. Like, I've only kind of ever looked at myself as an artist, and I've just had this kind of innate feeling like that's what I'm here for on this earth. And that's not to say that I've not got off course. I've gotten off course quite a few times in my life. Dealt with a little bit of, I'd say, micro depression compared to the people who really get it. I don't want to oversell it, but I've done the depression and anxiety thing. I've had both. I was briefly seeking help for both, although luckily for me that was a short period of time, and I was able to kind of fix it for the most part. I'm still an artist, and I'm still kind of an introvert type of personality. So I grew up kind of being able to be by myself for long periods of time, and I'm still like that. To give you some background, I grew up in Vermont in a small town. Shout out to Fairleigh. I'm talking like 800 people. When I was growing up, I think there was 800 people, and then now maybe there's 1,300, something like that. But we were in the middle of the woods, and it's beautiful. It's fucking awesome and epic, and it's a great place to grow up compared to what some people deal with growing up. But it's isolated. If you can't deal with figuring out how to have fun by yourself and shit like that, then you're screwed out there. So I've always been that way. I kind of picked it up there, I think, and you've taken it. I live in the city now, and lived in a couple cities. And I still have that with me where I can just, I don't seek out, I don't need somebody's approval for shit. I don't need somebody to give me ideas on how to occupy myself. I've got 20 hobbies. So anyway, now you know a little bit about me. Hopefully I haven't bored you to death. This is not my natural element. I don't like to even just knowing that the camera is filming me right now is kind of weird for me, because I don't seek that kind of attention, which is an odd juxtaposition to have when you're an artist, because we live in a climate, and these young people, I don't want to sound like a boomer or like an old person, but the young people are really savvy with getting out there and marketing, and they have no problem with creating a brand and all this shit, and that just is, I'm kind of in between, I guess, a millennial and a Gen Xer, and so more tendencies of Gen X, which is fuck everybody, man. I'm gonna do my thing, so that's kind of how I've been. But now I have, something like 40, I think I counted 47 works that I've released. They're on Spotify, they're on everything, but I've done a very low amount of marketing. And like, as if I was to look at it, if I didn't have my career in pianos that was fully developed and like, you know, sustaining me, I would feel a lot of like, oh man, you're not doing what you should be doing with marketing. And I'm finally at this point where I'm creating so much now. I've got a single I'm about to release. That's gonna come out in the next month or two. And it should be a marker of like some new shit for me. It's like, in my opinion, other than the stuff on my album Corruption, which was my last album, I was getting close there with this vibe, but the vibe I have now is like fully like guitar driven, band driven kind of feeling. And so other than that, you know, I've not really done a whole lot of marketing. I've done a music video, which I marketed. I've done a couple remixes for a producer here in Atlanta, shout out Ford. But other than that, I have not really. I've been, you know, woefully under-marketed. So I think it's a disservice to my art because I put, I put hundreds, if not thousands of hours into an album, a song itself can be, you know, double-digit, triple-digit hours that you put into making one song. So if you do the math on what, like, you know, a 10-song album, what it takes if you're doing everything yourself, it's pretty crazy. So I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, all right, man, you're doing yourself a discredit to not create something like this where I can just talk to people if they want to hear what the fuck I'm saying. If you're still hanging on, then you are who I'm talking to. So that's why I'm making videos like this. But anyway, I've got off tangent. This will be the first. I just want to introduce myself. Once again, I'm JHelix. This is JHelix Creative. And I hope to see you again.